Eight of Swords, Five of Cups here. They might have been left behind by some King of Cups. Either there was abandonment or there was maybe just issues between a romantic couple. But whatever this is has led towards someone else really learning to stand up and fight their inner demons. They've become wiser. And something is really, it's like, this is fast, like really fast. Because something is shifting within this person, their outside is about to shift very, very quickly, to the point where this person might not be expecting it. But hold on, let's look at who is Abelard and Eloise. Because some of these love stories I know, but like Abelard and Eloise, I do not. Neither do I know this one. But let's do Abelard and Eloise first. Oh, okay. It's a story of a medieval love affair between a teacher and his student that ended in tragedy. Ow, okay. In 1115, Abelard, a theologian, met Eloise, a gifted young scholar. Abelard seduced Eloise, offering to tutor her in exchange for living with her uncle Fulbert. The affair resulted in pregnancy, and Abelard secretly married Eloise. Fulbert castrated Abelard. Wow. After discovering the affair, Abelard became a monk and Eloise became a nun. The letters of Abelard and Eloise are a series of passionate and intellectual letters written in Latin. The letters provide a glimpse into the couple's relationship in the societal context of 12th century Europe, and they are considered a primary source for studying medieval love, gender roles, and monastic life. Whew. Okay, that is intense. I'm not sure if this is okay. So now that we know that, I'm not sure if this fighting off is maybe somebody trying to not fall for somebody because they think it would lead to tragedy. Maybe the way circumstances are set up means it's a bad idea for these two people to get romantically involved. Let's see. Let's look at, because Judgment is about something coming back to life, right? But this one has Tannhauser and Elizabeth. Who's that? Let's see. Tannhauser. Okay, hold on. No. Let's okay, so it's an opera. It's the story around a knight poet Tannhauser who is torn between the passionate sensual love of the goddess Venus and the pure spiritual love of Elizabeth, a noblewoman. After spending time in the Venusberg, Tannhauser seeks redemption through a pilgrimage to Rome, but ultimately finds salvation only through Elizabeth's selfless love and sacrifice, which leads to his death. Oh God, impossible ascension to heaven. Holy shit. So, key points of the plot. Tannhauser is seduced by Venus, the goddess of love, lives a life of sensual pleasure in her underground realm, the Venusberg. He eventually grows weary of Venus's embrace and returns to the human world, arriving at the Wartburg Castle, where he is welcomed. Oh my God. Okay, well, it is what it is. He is welcomed by Landgrave Hermann and his niece, Elizabeth, who secretly loves him. So it's the niece of somebody he knew. Okay. The Landgrave hosts a singing contest where the knights must sing about love, and the winner receiving Elizabeth's hand in marriage. When Tannhauser sings about the intoxicating nature of earthly love, his song is seen as too sensual and shocking by the other knights, but Elizabeth defends him. Feeling guilty and desperate for redemption, Tannhauser embarks on a pilgrimage to Rome to seek forgiveness from the Pope. Despite his repentance, the Pope refuses to grant him absolution, symbolizing the severity of his sin. Back at Wartburg, Elizabeth, believing Tannhauser's beyond redemption, prays fervently for his salvation, even offering her own life. A dying Tannhauser returns, still seeking forgiveness, and upon seeing Elizabeth's lifeless body, realizes the depth of her love and is finally granted redemption. Oh my God, no! Oh no! Oh no! We're not. No, no, no. Okay, so let's say that this is the old you, because this definitely feels like, again, somebody coming back. Remember, Tannhauser chose the goddess of love, but it wasn't a very, love full of depth. It was more like sexual, sensual love. And so then I really feel like this is somebody coming back, but I know Psyche was, wasn't she the companion of Eros? Okay, so in Greek mythology, the story of Psyche and Eros is about a mortal woman and the god of love who fall in love and eventually marry. The story has been adapted into many works of art. Psyche is the beautiful daughter of a king and queen. The goddess of beauty and lust, again, the goddess of beauty and lust, Aphrodite, is jealous of Psyche's beauty and sends her son Eros to make Psyche fall in love with an ugly man. Eros falls in love with Psyche instead and visits her every night. Psyche's sister convinces her to find out who her lover is. Psyche accidentally drops oil on Eros' face while lighting a lamp, waking him up and causing him to flee. Psyche is forced to perform impossible tasks by Aphrodite, including traveling to the underworld. Psyche eventually marries Eros. Zeus grants Psyche immortality and makes her the goddess of the soul. So, these stories have familiarity, right? There's a familiar theme here. This one, Tannhauser was connected to the goddess of love, Venus, which was the the Roman version of the goddess of love, whereas Psyche was connected to Aphrodite story, also the goddess of love, but the Greek version. So I don't know if this is like an actual struggle against a specific deity, because both Tannhauser and Eros had a tie to the goddess of love, right? They were being pulled by something else. This one was because he was, sleeping with her, and this one because Aphrodite was Eros's mother and she was jealous of Psyche's beauty. So I don't know. There's somebody coming back after they've already gone, and for some of you it'll be their family that they couldn't break away from, and for others of you it'll be a specific lover that they couldn't break away from. Let's see. Tell me about judgment. Clarify judgment. I really feel like whatever you've been breaking past, this was most likely a story that would have ended in tragedy if you had continued, or it did end in tragedy, and that's why justice. Clarify the judgment. The world. King of Swords. Queen of Cups. This isn't even a match. Queen of Cups, King of Swords. The person coming back can be very intelligent. They can be very calculating. But there is this story was about redemption, and in this one she had to be the one doing the redemption. So something about someone wanting to redeem themselves. Especially with justice here. But I don't know, with the world card, I don't think this cycle can be revisited. I think that there's a little bit of the energy here of what's done is done. Like, you know, with this terrible story, she literally gave up her life for someone. In this one, there was still a transformation because she was no longer immortal. She became a goddess, but she had to go through a lot of trials to accomplish that goal. Clarify Princess of Arrows. Because it could be two different stories and they're going to end differently. So if it's the masculine coming back, it still requires a lot of sacrifice from the feminine. And if it's the feminine trying to earn the masculine's love, she's going to have to go through her own trials and tribulations before she can win him back. Clarify Psyche, because they're both similar, but there's still differences. Clarify Princess of Arrows. Four of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, clarify Princess of Arrows. Two of Swords reversed, Nine of Wands. Two different outcomes, very different outcomes. This one over here feels very done. Whereas, you know, even if someone's trying to make it right, the world is like, that door's closed. This one over here, though, has not only the Lovers with the Seven of Pentacles, it's got somebody feeling like this is a missed opportunity and being more consistent, being a lot more like they're changing their life. If the feminine was indecisive before, that's not a thing. Now she knows what she wants. She's very sure of it. And there's a lot of, this is reversed. This takes me to Aries moon energy. So there's a lot of boldness, a lot of action being taken. With the Nine of Wands specifically, it's very much about I'm not giving up and ultimately accomplishing the Two of Cups. So I feel like we're reading two different storylines. If it's the masculine coming back, I don't think it's going to work unless the feminine is in a very self-sacrificial energy. And over here, it's not going to work unless the feminine is willing to put in the work to regain the masculine's favor. Or the family. Because remember here, she didn't really lose Eros's favor. She had to prove herself to Aphrodite. Clarify Six of Cups. Hanged Man, Knight of Swords, clarify Six of Cups. Eight of Cups. The Tower. Queen of Swords, Three of Cups. So this is, we saw a King of Swords, right? So for some of you who are dealing with the King of Swords, you are most likely not expecting them to come back. Intellectually, this is a good match. But with the Three of Cups, this is more like a friend. This is not, I don't think this is meant to be a romantic connection. Even if, like in the story, she's in love with him, right? But he may look at her like she's his savior and she cares about him, but it never says that he really cares about her. All the work he did was for him to feel better. He wanted to be redeemed. He didn't want to go to hell. He didn't want to be cast as a sinner. But it doesn't really say that he worked hard to gain her love. She was just willing to give it. Over here, though, Eros did fall in love with Psyche. So I feel like this is connected to Wednesday's collective, because some of you may perceive this person as like, oh, they're coming back, so they must love me. And you might think that you're on this timeline when you're not. It's how clear you are, whether this is something you can move past or not. And if you're on this timeline, then it's different, right? But only you know which timeline you're on. Because at the Hanged Man, paired with the Six of Cups, this is somebody who hasn't moved on. Now, for what reason will vary, again, depending on which of these stories timeline you're on. Because at the Knight of Swords, there is somebody who is willing to swallow the words that they said. They're willing to change. They're willing, and it's going to be shocking. That's what's going to be shocking. That there's so much change in this person. Clarify Six of Staves. Seven of Swords, clarify Six of Staves. King of Cups, Page of Swords. The Ace of Swords, Six of Cups, the Lovers again. So, it really comes down to you deciding which timeline you're on. Because there is, this Six of Cups was connected to the Psyche and Edel story. But this Six of Wands is connected to the Tannhauser and Elizabeth story. Because Six of Wands is Leo Jupiter. It's a lot of ego. It's a lot of feeling like they are important to somebody. So this King of Swords is coming back because they love, remember, Elizabeth is willing to give her life for this person. They love how giving the feminine is. They love how important they are to her. So the Six of Wands is for the people who are coming back, not because they love her, but because they love how important they are to her. Yeah. The Seven of Swords here, this is like a casket, right? What's in the casket? Hope. Reflection. This is somebody who does not reflect, and this is somebody who doesn't really act out of hope. I know y'all are just sick of hearing me talk about K-dramas and C-dramas, but one of the most recent ones I was watching, and it's one I've brought up before, but there's a different angle. One of the gentlemen in the scenario, he is constantly in victim mentality. It's always everyone else's fault. When he is in trouble, when things go sideways, this man does not know how to take accountability. And it's like there's moments where I just want to reach through the camera and shake him. Reach through the screen, not the camera. Because he sabotages himself over and over because it's like, oh, I have no power. I can't do this. I can't do that. That's this type of person. It's always going to be everyone else's fault. They may drink away their sorrows, their issues. And with the Page of Swords, they may also be writing. They may also be creating things, but it's a very different frequency from this to this. So there's going to be similarities, and your discernment is going to have to be really sharp. And remember, if your discernment is not sharp enough to tell the difference and you feel like you messed up, there's no such thing as messing up. There's no such thing. There's learning curves, right? If we are drawn to something, it's because there's something that we need to look at in that situation, all right? But you'll know which is your true person because they're willing to change their lives. Like, and they're making the changes possible, invisible, to be able to match you in frequency. So, I was over here trying not to mess up the cards. That's exactly what I did. All right, so let's go ahead and stop this one here because this is part 1, part 2. And I will see you guys on part 2. If you're already on Patreon, I'll see you over there. If you want to support and you want to show, that you want to help the growth of the channel or the subscription, then make sure in the comments down below to drop the emojis that show up in the title, and I would greatly appreciate them. All right, love you guys. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.